Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, feast your ears on the return of the Talkies Network podcast. You should see Artur's eyes after that intro. Nice,
it's a good
nice podcast slurp, my friend.
It's a podcast coffee slurp.
Oh, is it a podcast coffee slurp?
All right, so guys, welcome to for us, it's been long waited. For the fans, I don't know if they care.
No, they don't. We have 32 of them.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Talkies Network podcast with Nick and Artur.
Yeah, we haven't shot one in a while, so we felt it was due time to come back.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. So let's, I feel like the best way to do it is just jump straight into it.
Jump right into it. Let's just jump into it. Beautiful, you beautiful bastard.
I love it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is an in-depth review of Transformers The Last Night.
Now, on our website, talkiesnetwork.com, our third member, JJ, he already wrote a review. We'll link that below. You should go check that out, read it. But we want to give our thoughts on it because I honestly we had some different opinions on that film.
Yes, we did. And I feel like first we should start off with your opinion because it's a little bit more optimistic than mine is.
Okay, look, the Transformers, they were like my favorite toys as a kid. So when Michael Bay came out and said, live action series is coming, I was like, yes, 100%. Yeah. Peter Cullen back as Optimus Prime, I was like, this is it. Hugo Weaving as Megatron, absolutely. So Transformers 1 comes out, loved it. Transformers 2 comes out. Artur, what did you think of Transformers 2?
It's the worst fucking movie I think I've ever watched in my entire life.
See, I don't think that. I think it's horrible. It's horseshit. Even Michael Bay thinks that. But it's not as bad as the fourth one, but we'll get to that. Then Transformers 3 comes out, and I will defend that movie with my dying breath because the action in that film is top-notch for me.
It's not that good.
Okay, Sentinel Prime, for me, is incredible. Okay, Leonard Nimoy, he kills it. Okay, Transformers 4, I think is the worst in the series. I don't know what they were thinking. It had good trailers. It was a disgusting film.
All right, and with all of that, that's the kind of mentality we jumped into to the fifth movie.
We weren't optimistic.
I was not optimistic. I also wasn't expecting anything. I didn't want to go to this movie because
I convinced him.
I am tired of giving money to Michael Bay to keep making mediocre films. And mediocre.
Or
like my ability to speak.
That's okay. Second language.
So
speak Brazilian, eh?
Portuguese.
That's good.
So I walked in with no expectations. I honestly thought either this movie will prove me wrong and I'm going to have a good time, or I'm going to be proven correct and this movie was garbage. Either way, I knew I was going to leave that movie theater disappointed. So,
In short,
okay, we're going to give you our ratings and then we'll go from there.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
I give it a 4. Now, Nick, explain why you would give it a 5.
Because, A, it wasn't Age of Extinction.
Okay.
Age of Extinction, everything was bad for me.
I'm an inventor.
This could be a game changer for me. For this one,
he says it again in this movie.
He does, but it's not like totally and completely stupid.
And it's not in your face.
Yeah,
it's just like I'm an inventor. Like
he's just like
fact.
Yeah, and they made a joke out of it.
Yeah,
like I'm an inventor, and then the female lead, Laura Haddock goes, "Oh, what did you invent?" He goes, "Well, lots of things." And she goes, "What?" "Well, stuff you'll hear about in the future."
That's funny.
And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of funny. The action for me took 2 hours to get to it, but thanks Michael Bay for another 2.5 hour film. But when it got to it, I liked it. Optimus Prime versus Bumblebee.
That was fun.
Guys, this is a spoiler-filled review, by the way.
Yes.
That's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, obviously.
But we will be talking about specific things that happen in the movie. Despite the fact there isn't too much to give away.
Yeah, it's just
because I believe the last trailer gave away the full plot.
Okay, look. JJ said it best in his review. This movie takes, like, the plot of 3, the action of 4, and, like, meshes it together into like one incoherent.
Yep.
I don't even know how to what's the story?
Okay, so the first thing that we gotta let's start from the beginning.
Why did you give it a 4?
I give it a 4 because I can watch that movie again.
It's fun.
I can rewatch it and be like, okay, I can't rewatch 2 and I can't rewatch 4.
There's one specific scene in 4 I can rewatch. It's the one where he's fighting the Dinobot, Grimlock. I find that scene pretty entertaining because then
Grimlock's back in this one, by the way.
Oh, right, but what role does he play?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing because, oh my god, guys, Ignore everything I just said because I just thought of something that just made me so heated.
What?
Unicron in this film.
Oh yeah.
Is not Unicron.
No, it's Earth.
So apparently in this film, Earth is another name for Unicron, and I don't know what was going through the writers' heads when they said that. They said, "Hey, look at all this Transformers lore. Oh, look, a window." And then the lore all went out the window.
Oh,
okay.
It's fantastic.
They go Earth or Unicron, and I'm like, bro, it is not that difficult. Unicron is a planet eater.
Yes, and apparently we're that.
So Earth eats planets?
So I don't. Okay, this is pure speculation, but it seems like we would be the villains in the next movie.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
I don't know.
So what? The Transformers are gonna come back to Earth, of course.
Yes.
And then what? We have to take out Earth. Like, okay.
But we've been protecting it for 5 movies.
You know what else pissed me off?
What?
Okay, so this movie acted like the Transformers have been coming here for a long time, right? Like this is a brand new thing. Like, why do they keep coming here? You know, they've always been coming here. Okay, and then you realize in Transformers 2. Half that the entire beginning scene took place in 10,000 BC.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I'm in the theater and I'm like, okay, so we've already gotten 10,000 BC, but no, Arthurian, if that's how you say it, times is far enough.
King Arthur times.
King Arthur times. You know what else? I saw this in one review. This film took the worst parts of the summer blockbuster season in King Arthur. Like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It just took all the bad ones and made an incoherent, half decent film.
No, okay. So one of the things that I expressed very heavily while we were watching the movie with when me and Nick were watching the movie in the theater, I think I had a lot of fun making fun of it.
We were
like that made it enjoyable
because every scene was another joke.
Exactly. And the thing is, one thing that I pointed out to you, Nick, was that I loved hearing Mark Wahlberg's Boston accent versus like a very sophisticated English accent with Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, because he's an everyman and he can do everything.
Going back and forth, and I'm like, that's so weird, but I appreciate it to a certain extent.
You know who was a great character? Anthony Hopkins.
He was actually genuinely good. Him and his robot butler.
They looked like they were having fun with it. Like,
exactly.
Anthony Hopkins probably knew. Like, he was thinking to himself, man, I just came off Westworld. I'm on top of the world again.
Seriously.
How good is he in Westworld?
Fantastic.
And he goes, you know what? I just want to screw around, have some fun. Michael Bay comes along and says, I need someone who's going to deliver exposition like nobody else can.
Really?
And Hopkins goes, you got me, bro. That's it. Just get me like a robot butler who... Oh my god, the scenes where Hopkins is delivering the exposition, and then his robot butler is like providing the background music.
Yes, okay,
that was funny.
Okay,
that I gotta give it to.
I actually have to give that. That's actually what I think is genius.
That was a very original thought from Michael Bay and his writers.
Because to me, the way I saw that scene was. We're delivering exposition. We know we're delivering exposition. How do we make this? How do we turn this and flip it on its head and make it into a joke?
Like, it was a very intense, like, this is the history.
Yeah.
All these famous people are a part of this Wiccan legend, which we will get to.
Yeah, we have a problem with that.
Wiccan legend, and then it's all like the opera and the instruments, and it's thunderous, and all of a sudden it's his robot butler Cogman just playing the organ.
And it's hilarious because then after he tells him, "Yo, stop."
Yeah, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it like better for you."
Yeah, so like that was really cool. What was the little girl's name? The 13-year-old in the movie?
Isabella with a Z.
Yeah, she makes it very clear it's with a Z.
I liked her character though, but she was so underused.
That's the thing. She was one of the best characters, but she served no purpose. You could remove her entire thing, and it essentially would be the intro. But like you would remove the intro part of the movie. But then after that, she does nothing. She just kind of comes to Mark Wahlberg and says, "You know what? Actually, she has one purpose in the movie. It's to tell Mark Wahlberg to get out there to find the tomorrow."
For me,
that's it. But like that's such a minimalist part of the movie, which created a very forced romance. Like
know what? Not even gonna dive into it. That romance shouldn't have happened, but it happened anyway, and that's all about it.
It literally starts. The romance starts with Mark Wahlberg just having a wife, a tank top on, and then taking off his shirt and being like, "Whoa, what is this going on in my arm and my abs?" And the girl's just, Well, hello there.
Oh, he has a six-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, suddenly, I am...
okay, I know this is going on a little bit of a tangent, but I just have to get this out of my chest.
Get it out.
Mark Wahlberg keeps switching outfits in this movie, like it's like nothing's happening. For example, first he goes into a tank top, so you can be like, maybe he was wearing that underneath his shirt, I get it. But then he comes out of a submarine with a beanie on, and you're like, when did you find the time to find a hat inside of a submarine? That never happened, and it was just bad.
He's heated. He's very heated.
Okay,
let me distract you. Hold on. Megatron in this film
played no role.
No role.
He was useless.
You know what the worst part is? There was a lot of controversy when the original one came out because Peter Cullen played Optimus Prime in the 80s.
Yes.
But they didn't bring back Frank Welker, I think is how you say it.
Yes.
They didn't bring him back for Megatron. They brought in Hugo Weaving. I love Hugo Weaving. His voice is very intimidating.
He's the villain in every single mid-2000s
right.
movie.
But they didn't bring him back, and so that created a lot of controversy. So when Age of Extinction came, they brought in Frank Welker to do Galvatron. It sucked. They brought him back to do Megatron. Yep. I like the redesign of Megatron, but other than that...
It wasn't bad.
It's like you know what? That's the other movie they brought in. There's a whole part of this film that looked like Suicide Squad.
Yes, they literally spell out the names of
and they throw them on screen.
The Decepticons.
And I'm like, oh cool, David Ayer's back. I mean,
yeah, I hated that movie.
I didn't hate it. I
hated Suicide Squad.
Won an Oscar, so
shut up.
I'll defend that movie too.
And now I'm gonna get to the really good part, like technical aspect of the movie, and the worst technical aspect of the movie.
Visual effects.
Okay, so the first thing, the best thing they could have done is that, unlike Age of Extinctions, there were less ads.
Yeah,
like the advertising was
minimal.
Yeah, the thing
was there.
Yeah, it was there. It was present, and I get it. Like a movie of that caliber requires money, requires funding. I get it. So Age of Extinction, just the entire third act was in China for no reason.
Detonate the seed in the largest city. It's not the largest city.
Oh God! And then they, I remember that Budweiser thing. No,
Bud Light, water. You know.
Oh God, I hate Bud Light. He cracks it up like on a door. He drinks it. Like that was stupid. This one, they kind of progressed the joke.
Yeah, so they made it funny.
Now Mark Wahlberg had one of like the tiny Dinobots go grab him a beer.
Yeah.
And it's another Bud Light, whatever. It's kind of funny, but now okay, another tangent. This is the worst part of the movie. I get it that IMAX cameras are woo, they're fucking great.
That's right. Oh God,
they're fantastic. But that means every time when you switch back to a regular ass camera, the aspect ratio changes in the movie. So black bars, no black bars. Black bars, no black bars. No, and the thing is, in The Dark Knight Rises, this happened as well. But Nolan learned. Nolan switched from sequences.
Yeah.
Michael Bay switched from shots.
But see, like even in Interstellar, Nolan figured it out for like the talking scenes, regular camera.
Yes.
For the scenes where it was like
action,
like you needed to see the whole new planet that Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway were on, that was in IMAX. This one, it's every other scene. Like it's not even the same as like full screen, widescreen. It's like almost full screen and then widescreen and then full screen and then widescreen and then almost full screen again.
And the thing is, whenever the aspect ratio changed, you always assume something cool is gonna happen. So they would switch from cameras. Like, okay, Mark Wahlberg would talk. It would be an IMAX camera.
And then they would switch to another character.
And they would show another character, and then he wouldn't be in IMAX. But then it would cut back to Mark Wahlberg, and he wouldn't be in IMAX again. And you're like, okay, I'm not understanding the importance of using this camera. You know, whatever. It got very infuriating to keep... It took me completely out of the movie. It became so distracting.
This podcast is going to be very heated for the other two topics that we have to talk about.
Jesus. I didn't like it. It was bad.
Look, throw a couple positives in.
Okay, positives. It was kind of funny. The majority of the jokes didn't land, but it was kind of funny. Advertisement was cut down. It wasn't that long.
It was a half hour or at least 20 minutes shorter than Age of Extinction.
Mark Wahlberg is still likable, and he can carry a film.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It improved.
Side characters were better than Age of Extinction.
I liked Hot Rod.
Exactly, yeah. They were nicer.
He was a cool Transformer.
If you want racial stereotypes in Transformers, they're still there.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's still prevalent.
But overall, it was okay. It was okay. It's watchable.
You're going to read a lot of reviews about it that say this film is absolute trash. I mean, it's not trash, but like, don't go into this movie expecting
it's good.
Yeah, like just turn your brain off for 2 hours, like we did. Laugh with it when you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And just enjoy when Optimus Prime is just destroying everything on screen because you know he's gonna do it again, and he does, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, there's an Optimus Prime narration. That's it.
All right, awesome. I think that concludes our review for the Transformers.
Oh, also, real quick, if you're hoping Optimus like being evil was like a really cool thing, it's not. It's very short. It's short. It's sweet, but could have gone on way long. It's kind of like Dom Toretto in Fast 8. All I'm gonna say, because that movie sucked too.
Oh God. All right. So now we're gonna switch over to
switching gears now.
Switching gears to the Han Solo.
The Han Solo film.
The Han Solo film.
Kind of going through some issues.
Yeah, it is. Nick, can you give us a brief little history lesson on what's happening so people are caught up?
Okay, so when the Han Solo movie got announced, they announced that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, known for the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, were being brought in to direct the film, which, I mean, for me, I never really wanted a Han Solo film. I thought what like the main series had done with him was enough, but they brought in these two directors. They brought in Lawrence Kasdan, who pretty much shaped Han Solo. He wrote the film with his son. They got a kick-ass cast. Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian, Alden Ehrenreich, I think that's how you pronounce his name, as Han Solo, Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon. Everything seemed to be going right. All of a sudden, boom, the directors are fired.
All right, now we read a couple reasons why, and the most probable one that we feel like it could be, it's the fact you need to understand the relationship of the director and the writer. Because if you watch anything of 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, it's improvisation. Yeah, for example, it's like Scorsese. Scorsese will give him a script. They'll tell him, read what's on the script, but then interpret what you want. And the thing is, that comes out to some of the most fantastic pieces of cinematic like scenes I've ever seen. Like, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio smashing his hand in in Tarantino's Django Unchained. Exactly. So moments like that become improv, and then they become famous. For example,
but with those films, it's not like they're not large scale epics. Han Solo can be considered a large scale epic, and when you have a $4 billion franchise, because that's what Disney paid for it, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is going to take, I guess, any chances. So Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they were hoping for what you said, a more improv, comedic style of a Han Solo film, which could work. I don't know.
To me, I think it could have worked perfectly, but you need to understand what Nick was saying. It's that they're gonna go with the safest bet. That's why The Force Awakens, it became the safest bet to make a movie that was essentially a remake of A New Hope, and they knew that they were making almost the exact same story.
It was like A New Hope, and then they just improved on the parts where A New Hope kind of like faltered on a bit.
So, but that was the safest bet, and I believe that Disney thinking like, you know what, we need another safe bet. What they do is they rely on the person that has already made the money in the past.
Exactly.
So they shit can the directors. So a new director has been announced, though.
Ron Howard.
I don't know how to feel about him.
Okay,
it feels like he's just going to be willing to, like, he's going to be the person that's just going to be there. He's going to direct it. He's going to do the work. But it's going to be the work that because we want you to do this, this, and this. He goes, all right, I'll do this, this, and this.
Because Lawrence Kasdan, the writer, believes that whatever's on script must be on screen.
Yeah, that's his philosophy.
And so I get it. Kathleen Kennedy backed her writer. I mean, anyone really would. He's the guy who wrote Empire, wrote Return of the Jedi, wrote Force Awakens with J.J. Abrams. So, I mean, bringing in Ron Howard,
his precedence.
I mean, I get it. I would back. Would you back Lawrence Kasdan? I would. Like, I get it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I totally get it, but the thing is,
and I feel like that's why they brought in Ron Howard, because Ron Howard's just going to follow what Kasdan says.
Now, this is not a very popular opinion that I have. No matter which franchise it is, when a director comes into it, I like seeing their interpretation of the film, of the series. I don't need the same staple Star Wars again and again and again.
I think we're going to get that with Episode 8 with Rian Johnson, because he's such a unique filmmaker. That's like with thing. Brick and Looper and the Breaking Bad episodes
that's why I'm so excited for it. Because it's going to be his interpretation.
It'll top Force Awakens.
Listen, Gareth Edwards added his own interpretation when he made Rogue One.
But remember, they also they also reshot the third act and brought in Tony Gilroy.
Well, no, I'm talking about his stylistic, not narrative.
Oh yeah, no, that was
stylistically.
Stylistically, that was Edwards.
Presented his scaling and all that kind of stuff. That's what I believe a director should bring
100%. You're
to
absolutely
the
correct.
table.
Yes.
So, I personally don't think it was the smartest decision to bring him forward. I thought the best decision would be, instead of firing them, maybe work it out, because they are two very talented directors that would come up with a fantastic movie.
See, I think, according to one report, they were blindsided by this, right? Because, I guess, it's kind of like what threw Edgar Wright off of Ant-Man, or Patty Jenkins off of Thor 2. Thank God she left Thor 2. What a mess that film was. Way to go, Patty, for Wonder Woman.
Woo!
It's like, when you're coming off, like Edgar Wright, he's directed a ton of good films. Going into Ant-Man, he had directed already like the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy. So funny. Scott Pilgrim. None of his films have dropped below 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So when you go into a movie and you see like all this like micromanagement, like I guess J.J. Abrams knew that Disney would. Of course. Like, I mean, Rian Johnson has come out and said that he has pretty much creative control. But I guess for maybe younger directors, like,
they're more.
They don't expect it.
Edgar Wright financially is not a good director.
Right, his movies don't. Okay, first off, guys, go see Baby Driver this weekend.
Please,
okay, that movie is incredible.
Like,
okay?
I don't need another Scott Pilgrim in my life where I love the movie, but it made no money, and then no one cares about it.
Okay, listen to me. Baby Driver is incredible. Continue on Han Solo.
So, okay, the thing is, Han Solo, the movie was on, as you heard from the beginning, it was on track. It was doing well. Thing is, this disrupts the movie a bit, but for all we know, it could still be good, or it could be even a better movie than it was going to be.
I don't mind Ron Howard, because I think for the most part, he's a DC. I liked him in Happy Days. I liked him in American Graffiti. Apollo 13 is one of my personal favorite films.
That's the thing. So he has pedigree,
but he also did Inferno and The Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. Did he do Angels and Demons?
That's watchable at the very most. It's a watchable film.
But here's the thing. I want to reserve judgment for when the movie comes out. This is all speculation. Keep this in mind. None of this is confirmed, rumor, except for like when we actually say something's confirmed.
No, it is confirmed that Ron Howard is taking over. That's confirmed. However, like,
but speculation how they left, and all that kind of stuff, we can't prove that.
They said it's creative differences. Most of the reports now are saying they were fired because. So I watched one video by Mr. Sunday Movies who said that they were trying to make Han Solo more meta. And to me, that's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want Jonah Hill's, Schmidt.
Boom, boom,
yeah, I don't want that as Han Solo.
I
know who Han Solo is. He's a space western cocky dick.
I get that.
Okay? But I know Kasdan knows that. I just don't want this to be the exact same film that I've seen. Like, Rogue One for me was different, and I loved it because what Gareth Edwards did and what Tony Gilroy ended up doing in the third act was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I have faith in Disney. Kathleen Kennedy, she's a personal hero of mine. She gets it. Okay. So if Ron Howard and Kasdan can make a great film, then by all means go ahead. And I know Phil Lord and Chris Miller will jump into something else and kill that.
Fantastic. And I feel like that ends off that. So then now let's get back to the last thing that we want to talk about. Something that I have a particular grudge with.
Yeah, this entire podcast, I said, it's going to be a heated event.
Okay. First off, I don't know how you can make a Venom movie without Spider-Man, but somehow we're going through it anyways.
Okay, so the next topic is Venom.
Yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
Backstory.
Okay. Now, the only way that I can see this working is that they somehow adapted the ultimate story, like the ultimate Spider-Man origin of Venom, and then brought it in. Or they somehow just make the meteor crash, gets away, and then it lands on Eddie Brock, but it doesn't go through Spider-Man. But then it's weird because Venom only has, like, webbing because he was bonded with Spider-Man first. And then who's he going to hate in the movie? But apparently now he's the protagonist and Carnage is going to be in it.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, Nick, break it down.
Okay, so everyone knows Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He's a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kevin Feige and Marvel and Disney made a deal with Sony to bring Spider-Man in. With Spider-Man came most of the Spider-Verse. However, then Sony came out and announced their own plans for a Marvel universe, like separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with Venom, with Tom Hardy as the lead character.
And rated R.
Yep. And so people were wondering, like, well, how are you going to do this without having Spider-Man? And so then Kevin Feige came out and said, no, remember, they are separate entities. Venom is happening, Spider-Man is happening, not together. Then Amy Pascal, president of Sony, we'll just say Sony Movies, came out and said, well, actually, Kevin, they are part of, they're like adjuncts to it. Venom is in the MCU, kind of acting like Daredevil and the rest of the Defenders, like the Netflix side. It just happens in a different area. So now, Kevin Feige has come out again with Amy Pascal and said, no, they are not the same entity. Yeah. Venom is happening in its own corner with like Black Cat, Silver Sable, Kraven the Hunter is rumored to appear.
Jesus. Okay.
And so, hold on, not even done yet. And so, as Artur said, Carnage is rumored to be the main villain in the Venom movie.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for Tom Hardy in a superhero movie again. He was good as Bane. He was supposed to be in Suicide Squad.
As
dodged
Rick
a bullet there.
As Rick Flag.
He would have been so much better than Joel
This
Kinnaman.
is Katana.
She's got my back. Look, I'm all for Tom Hardy as Venom. I am not for Tom Hardy as Venom in its own film because I don't know what's gonna happen, how he's gonna be Venom, unless they steal Flash Thompson's origin.
And they go with like Ancient Venom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
But it's not Venom!
But the entire okay, just for the people that don't know the origin also of Carnage, because this is also an origin of Carnage. It's not an origin of just Venom.
Right. This would be Carnage's origin too.
Exactly. So with Carnage, in the comics, Spider-Man and Venom fight against one another, and in that fight, kind of an offspring is born out of Venom, and it attaches itself to
Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, a killer, rapist. And the thing is, if this is a rated R movie, and they are in fact saying that he's gonna have all the Carnage powers, like he's gonna be able to suck the life force out of people. In the comics, it implies that he rapes people.
Yeah.
Are we really going to see that in the big screen? I get it's rated R, but I don't need to see that in a Spider-Man movie.
If anything, I'll just be a serial killer.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's a movie that's very, very risky, and it's something that Sony shouldn't be doing at the moment.
I don't know why. Look, because Sony, it's like saying, well, we gave you Spider-Man, but hey, we're going to do all this stuff on our own. Remember us? We're still Sony. And I'm like, it's... Like, when they cast Tom Hardy, and the director for Venom is the guy who directed Zombieland.
Yes.
So I'm like, wow.
Which is good.
Solid director, solid actor, not in a solid universe.
Is the script done? That's the question.
I do not think so.
So the thing is, they should start shooting soon.
I believe it's going to start shooting, like, relatively soon, because they're trying to hit an October 2018 release date, capitalize on Halloween, I'm sure.
Of course. Well, get it rated R,
because,
scary, blah, blah, blah.
Because it's supposed to be a horror thriller-esque film, which it's like all the right things
but all
are in place.
But all at the wrong time.
And in the wrong place.
Jesus.
Because you have such a great actor. Like, for me, seeing Tom Hardy go up against Tom Holland, yeah, why not?
But the thing is, I understand why Feige would not want the Venom in his universe.
I mean, because Sam Raimi kind of messed it up. I don't blame Raimi for screwing up Venom, though. That was also Sony's fault. Listen, Sony, you screwed up before. You're possibly doing it again. Unless, you know what? The Venom movie could succeed.
It could.
And it could be fantastic. We don't know.
For example, I remember when they announced a R-rated Logan movie. And I remember thinking, that's not technically a smart idea.
Man, but that's like my favorite superhero movie of all time.
No, but then it would turn out to be really good. But the thing is, Wolverine has emotional pedigree under it in order to warrant this in a R rating and a solo movie.
Plus
what
they
pedigree
still had the characters.
The only pedigree that Venom has, it's Tobey Maguire with his weird hair down, punching.
We don't talk about that.
Mary Jane, and then after a like skinny ass blonde guy from That 70s Show just coming in and being Eddie Brock. It doesn't have, like, the fans...
Who thought Topher Grace would be a good idea for Venom?
I don't know. That's a different subject altogether.
Listen, Topher, you seem like a really nice guy, but...
Overall...
No!
Overall, we're concluding this podcast with some of the final thoughts. So, 3 questions, really quick, no tangents.
Give it to me.
Transformers 5, you thought it was okay, decent, not bad?
Like, I'm still intrigued to see Transformers 6 because a new director's coming in and I'm excited to see what they bring.
Fantastic. What are you thinking about the Han Solo movie? How do you think it's going to pan out with the new director?
With the cast and the writers they have, and Ron Howard's still a solid director, I think it'll turn out okay. I don't think it'll be as funny as it could have been.
All right, now the Venom movie with all this kind of stuff that we know now.
Shouldn't be happening, but if it does, please bring it into the MCU, and if anything, have Venom and Carnage go up against Spider-Man like Daredevil or something. Because for God's sakes, put Daredevil in a Spider-Man film.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
How fantastic would that be?
It'd be amazing.
Artur, tell them the website to check out.
All right, so now this is the conclusion of the podcast. So you guys should be going to our website at www.talkiesnetwork.com, where we upload articles like many of the things we talked about. We've written about.
We have,
but just we go a little bit more into detail because we're not speaking.
We can talk.
But yeah. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because this will also be on YouTube.
And if you're listening to this on SoundCloud, like it.
Yeah, like it, and maybe
share it. You know what? Share it. Share it with your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, that cousin you don't like but you still hang out with.
Exactly.
You know, everyone.
All right, so maybe we'll do another podcast.
I think we should do another. These are fun.
All right,
I have fun with you.
We'll see you guys next time on the next podcast or the next video.
This has been Talkies Network with Nick and Artur. Later.